I'm going to bring him out now. He's going to open and play a song with our Bedford kids, or a couple songs. Mr. Doug Wimbish. Let's hear it.
Welcome everybody here this morning. Is everybody having a nice chilly time? Thank you. No, it's great. Do you have any idea what your kids are doing backstage right now? They're having a great time right now. There's a whole party going on, all good. You left them unsupervised in a good way. But we love them. We love them. And I first want to start by saying thank you, family members, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, dogs, nephews, all family members. These kids wouldn't be able to do that without y'all. So I want to give y'all a nice round of applause first. You're the ones that get up in the morning, get them dressed. It's different than soccer, you know what I mean? But it's kind of the same, you know? It's like, but I want to thank you all because I'm a result of that. I'm a result of my mom and dad, you know, supporting me and I'm here right now based on family and friends. So I'm blessed. You know, it's about all of that. It's about what are we doing to help everybody? What are we doing to help the kids? And I'm a father and grandfather, even though I may not look that old, but I am that old. Excuse me. But over the years, I've learned to, just embrace the love of music, and it's really changed my life in a sense of me being able to actually communicate with people, and just having, just these different skills that music, has given us, and it's about sharing, and that's what it's really all about. What do we learn? What do we know? What are we sharing with somebody else? And I'll tell you a little story that that really resonated with me. When I was about 13 years old, I had a guitar teacher, and he would teach me songs and stuff. I was very young. And I would, he was a friend of my older brother and sister. Thank God for older brothers and sisters, you know what I mean? They kind of make things cool. So I've been taking these guitar lessons from him, playing a little bass, and he was like, you know what? You're pretty cool, man. Let's do this. I got a show happening at this club, and I'd like for you to come in and play. It's going to be a matinee show. I'm 13 years old. I'm stoked. I'm like, yeah, I'm so cool. So I get there. And because basically his bass player was AWOL a lot. So he was like, my bass player's not there, and I'd like to get you to come and do this gig. You're ready for it. I'm like, really? Okay, cool. So I go to the club, never forget this. I go to the club and sitting there, got my bass out, I'm ready to play. I'm stoked. It's a Saturday afternoon. My parents didn't know where I was at. Guys, don't you do this, brother. Mom, I'm off to the mall. No, I'm at a club actually getting ready to play. But I was supervised. I wasn't unsupervised. I was supervised by folks anyway, but they do know. So I get there. Kids don't do this. But I get there and I'll never forget this as long as I live. So I'm getting my bass out, getting ready to play. Cool, play one or two songs. In walks the bass player that I'm replacing, right? And this guy walks in and he's looking at me like, so he's all pissed off, because I'm there playing bass, But the guitar player was like, when you're late all the time, you're never here, blah. He's a bit of a funny guy. So I'm like, okay, this will not be my day to play bass in a club for the first time. No problem. So I sit down, I'm cool, I'm watching the rehearsal, because the guitar player's like, just stay right over there, watch the rehearsal. He's trying to teach his bass player a lesson in my expense. Anyway, long story short, the guy's looking at me like the whole rehearsal, he's just reckless eyeballing me the whole time, right? And I'm like, wow, this is crazy. So anyway, rehearsal's over, he'd been playing a little something, and then I'm trying to make friends with the guy. I'm really intimidated. He's an older guy, he's a pimp-looking kind of guy, really, a street guy. So I'm like, after the rehearsal's over, he did a lick, he has his bass out, and I'm that little kid that's just trying to find a way how to break the ice with a guy that's looking at me like he wants to strangle me. And I'm like, hey, at the end, I'm trying to wait for my time. He's sitting there banging, he's playing some notes, and I'm like, hey man, would you mind showing me that riff that you did. He said, get out of here, little kid. I'm not going to show you anything. No. And I felt so bad. I just shrunk down to a little tiny person right there. And I said, I will never be like that guy. I said, I'll never be like him, ever. At that moment, it changed my life because I was. It's a high and low and everything in between. But the lessons are, people can be really funny in this business, and it's important for you to embrace the honesty and the reality of the life that we live in, and how do you want to live it. And so it changed me a lot, and from that point, it made me practice more. It made me get up in the morning and do what I had to do. It's like, Mom, do you need me to rake the yard, or do you need me to shovel some snow? So, because it was my mom and dad that bought me the guitars and the things that got me to be here right now. So that story lasted forever. And as we're here on a nice Sunday morning, I'm thankful to be able to speak to all of you here. And you guys have no idea what's going on back there. These kids are having a blast back there. I've never seen that many kids with guitars and instruments in quite some time. And that's a blessing. So we should be thankful. We should be thankful. And, I want to thank a few different people right here. Steve Kennedy from the, Bedford and Fairfield. Thank you, Steve. Gold star on the forehead, my brother. Love him. Yo, you should have saw him at the Living Color gig a couple of weeks ago. He was really having a good time. I'd like to thank Todd Springer, the tall guy. The tall guy. You know what I mean? And I want to get his name right, because he's another fellow bass player. Rhymes with Corona, Frank Corona. These are guys. And then my good friend who started this whole vibe going on, had to be a drummer, Lou Calderola. The man with the legend. And of course, my new friend that I just met recently, who we're blessed to give us this lovely room to use and do that, Allison from the Bridgefield Theater. She's great. Oh, what can I say? I just want to congratulate the kids, and once again, it's like parents, friends, family members, aunts, uncles, I thank you. I thank you for what you do for these kids. That's my speech. Let's have some fun, y'all.